Okay, so today we're going to be doing some masking. As you can see, I've got iTunes open already. We have a lot of things open on our toolbar right now. We have Internet Explorer, Photoshop CS1, Photoshop Elements, photo gallery pictures that we're going to be using for masking today, and of course the webcam. So first thing you want to do, you're going to open up Photoshop, whichever regular one. I have CS2 that I use for the actual work, and then Elements to save it into a JPEG file, because CS2 can only save it to a Photoshop file. First, let's open up a few pictures that we have. I have a few pictures that I wanted to choose. We're going to be photoshopping a picture of Quinn Allman. We have this picture of Quinn. We have this picture, which I'm pretty sure we're going to be using. And then the background. When you're doing masking techniques, which is actually pretty popular nowadays around the internet, you pair a picture of someone, mainly, or maybe something, and you pair it with a beautiful background, you know? So, popular right now is, like pictures of outer space. Today we're going to be doing a picture of the Northern Lights. So, open it on your Photoshop. Open up the background first. There. And then open up the second layer, which is usually the person, okay? We'll be using this one. Okay, first thing you want to do once you open the two images is you check the image size, and you want to look at the height, not the width. The height on the first layer is 593 pixels, okay? And then you look at the background image and you check that height. Okay, so their height is pretty similar, so it's not that much of a difference. Listening to the Used in the background because we're obviously photoshopping Quinn Allman, the guitarist from the Used. Okay, once you get that open, you move to the first layer, go to Select, All, Edit, Copy, or you can use the shortcuts if that's easier for you. Then you go back to the background, Edit, Paste. Okay, so you see the image is up on the background. I like to go to Zoom and fit it to the screen so you can see everything. After you get all of that up, first before you start masking, you should go to Image and Adjustments and fix the picture however you want. I usually just adjust the brightness and contrast. If you add the contrast of the picture and then the brightness, it can add a really nice, like, angelic kind of look. And you can see, like, the change in the picture. Okay, now, if you're going to do a mask, you go down here to your Layers palette and press this button. It's a circle with a square, okay? And that becomes the layer here. In order to use the layer palette, you have to activate the brush tool. And you see how the color palette is already on black and white? If it's on black, then it hides whatever is being brushed over. And then if you switch it to white, it brings back whatever you just brushed away. Okay? So obviously we want to brush it away. But in order to get a lot of detail out of brushing it, you want to zoom in like almost all the way. Okay? Activate the brush tool. It's okay to take like chunks out of them, like say if you do this, because first of all, you can always just change it and bring back whatever you just took away. Or usually, when using this kind of masking technique that's popular today, you will lower the opacity of the picture or the first layer itself, so you can see bits of the background already. And it gives you a really nice kind of like transparent ghost look, you know? So it doesn't matter if you take off too much. It's okay to go over some of the hair too, because even if you're going over it, you can still kind of see it on the background layer. Okay, I think we got it all. Okay, so once you get that done, you might want to play with like where the picture is positioned. Like you see how his arm is cut off? Right there on the side. You can go to Edit, Free Transform, and move his picture to say the side so you don't have to like crop the picture in any way. Or you can even like mask around his shoulder, so when you make it transparent you can barely notice that it's cut off. Okay, so press enter. This blue line right here shows where the ending of the layer is. Okay? So once you get that done, all you have to do is go over here to the side and play with the opacity. I like to start it off at 0. You can see like when it's at 0 it's no longer there. And move up. So here it is at 16%. That's a little bit too light because I like seeing the actual person there on the picture. Usually I keep it at around 50s or 60s, but that looks a little bit too solid for me. So I'm going to go with 36. And you see, the picture is, I think it's nice. I think it's beautiful. Okay, so you want to press enter to make sure that the opacity has been entered into the computer. And then you just press File, Save. Save it under any name, like just Quinn. Okay, now that I have it saved on as a Photoshop file, I have to go to Photoshop Elements, which is kind of a more basic version of Photoshop. But since this is a newer version of Photoshop Elements, it has more newer technology than Photoshop CS2 has. So I used it to save it into a JPEG. I have to do is open it, enter the file name, and there's the finished product already in Photoshop Elements. So save as Quinn, and then you want to go down and find JPEG. And I'll say Quinn copy because it's a copy of the Photoshop file. Okay? Or you can even rename it into something else, just as long as it's not the same as your Photoshop file, because then it'll overwrite it. Usually it'll give you, for the quality, it'll give you something like 8, and that's like the medium. I turn it to 12, so it's the maximum of quality. And there you go. Okay, X out of Photoshop. Now we'll go onto the internet. This is where I got the original picture for the Northern Lights. We'll go to Facebook. Profile. Photos. I have an album specifically for masking, where I have, you know, just a bunch of pictures of masking that I've done. Okay, so we'll go back to the album. We're gonna add more photos. Now all I have to do is select a photo. Where are you? There you go. We'll select in, and then just press upload. Alright, so that's how you mask. It's really simple and it's really elementary, so you should be able to get it. Alright?